Guys, you have to see this photo. Seriously, it's insane. These 11 dudes chilling on the 69th floor of the RCA building, lunch break in full swing, as if they're just having a casual chat on their porch. They're 840 feet above Manhattan on a thin beam, and they're just smoking and eating. Unbelievable. The sheer audacity, the nonchalance. It's like they were literally defying gravity with their casual cool. But wait, there's more. Turns out, this whole scene was staged for a promotional shoot for the RCA building. Sneaky, sneaky. So, while they looked like total badasses, they were actually part of a marketing campaign. Talk about a manufactured moment. The photographer, Mystery Man. We don't know who snapped this iconic shot. Charles C. Ebbets, Thomas Kelly, or William Leftwich were all there, but we don't know which one did the honors. Crazy. But get this. Even though it was staged, this photo is like a badge of honor for every ironworker in NYC. It's a symbol of their incredible skill and bravery, and it totally resonates with them. They see themselves in those guys. Wild, right? Quick fact. Did you know that the original RCA building, now the GE building, was one of the tallest buildings in the world when it was completed? That's a huge feat of engineering, especially considering the risks taken by the workers. This photo, though staged, evokes a powerful sense of that past. Guys, you have to see this. This is insane. Alright, so picture this. June 5th, 1989, Tiananmen Square. Chaos reigns. The world is watching in horror as the Chinese army brutally crushes the pro-democracy protests. This is after the massacre, remember? The aftermath is a nightmare. This is where Jeff Widener comes in. This guy, perched on the 6th floor of the Beijing hotel, a total photojournalist ninja. The Associated Press sent him to capture the absolute carnage. He's seeing bloody bodies, people on bikes, charred buses. It's a grim scene, folks. Then bam, a single figure emerges from the chaos. A guy carrying what looks like shopping bags. He's standing right in front of a column of tanks. He's waving his arms, totally refusing to budge. Like, seriously defying the tanks. Widener's lens locks onto this. He's thinking, this guy's gonna get crushed. But wait, the tanks, despite all the rage and violence, stop. They try to go around him, but he just steps back into their path. He even climbs on top of one of them for a second. Pure courage, guys. And then, poof, he's whisked away. But not before Widener captures the moment. This isn't just a picture, it's a testament to human resistance, a single act of defiance against overwhelming odds. And guess what? This photo, one of the most iconic images of the whole event, blasted across the AP wire and hit front pages worldwide. The crazy part? We don't actually know the tank man's name. He remains a mystery. That's just incredible. A single, anonymous act of courage that shook the world. It's a stark reminder of the power of individual action in the face of oppression. Seriously, guys, this photo is a masterpiece. It's a powerful symbol of hope in the face of despair. And honestly, it gives me chills. Just wow. Leave a comment below and tell me what you think. Subscribe, like, and share. Peace out. It's never easy to pinpoint a game-changer moment in history. But this one's crystal clear. We're talking about the moment humanity truly grasped the breathtaking beauty, fragile wonder, and profound loneliness of our little blue marble hurtling through space. December 24th, 1968. Exactly 75 hours, 48 minutes, and 41 seconds after Apollo 8 blasted off from Cape Canaveral. Christmas Eve. A year that was, let's be honest, pretty messed up for America. But amidst the chaos, something truly amazing happened. These three astronauts, Borman, Lovell, and Anders, were on their way to becoming the first humans to orbit the moon. On their fourth orbit, as they emerged from the moon's dark side, bam, the Earth popped into view. Anders, totally stoked, goes, "Oh my gosh, look at that picture over there. Here's the Earth coming up. Wow, is that pretty?" Now picture this. Anders snaps a black and white pic. But Lovell's like, "Nah, we gotta get color." Total scramble ensues. Anders, all floating around, eventually gets the color shot, thanks to Lovell's quick thinking. Talk about a pinch-yourself moment. This wasn't just a pretty picture, it was a paradigm shift. This full-color view of our planet from space, the first of its kind, completely changed the game. It ignited the environmental movement. It made us realize that despite the vast emptiness of space, we've got a pretty amazing home. The Earthrise photo wasn't just a historical landmark, it was also a huge boost for environmental awareness. The sheer beauty and fragility of our planet, seen from this perspective, inspired countless people to fight for its protection. It's a reminder that sometimes the most profound moments of insight come from the most unexpected vantage points. That's right, you heard it here first. Guys, you're not gonna believe this. Okay, so 3 days after the little boy bomb absolutely obliterated Hiroshima, the US dropped the even more terrifying Fat Man on Nagasaki. This wasn't just a bomb, it was a monster. A 45,000-foot-high column of radioactive dust and debris just shot straight up into the sky. Lieutenant Charles Levy, the bombardier, saw it all. He's like, "We saw this massive plume climbing into the sky. It was purple, red, white, all colors swirling together like boiling alive coffee." He was knocked over by the blast from that 20-kiloton monster. Unreal. And get this, he snapped 16 photos of the utter devastation, the horrific, unimaginable destruction of a city on the Urakami River, home to about 80,000 people. Poof, gone. Just poof. This isn't a movie, guys. This is real life. This is history, and it's absolutely horrifying. 6 days later, Emperor Hirohito's like, "Okay, enough is enough," and Japan surrenders. Unconditionally. The whole war is over. But here's the twist. The US government tried to hide the photos of the devastation. They censored them. But Levy's photos, the only ones showing the full scale of the mushroom cloud from the air, got out there. They were everywhere. And what happened? American public opinion? Boom! It was all in favor of nuclear weapons. The US celebrated the atomic age like it was some kind of amazing new technology, like, woohoo, we're so powerful now. Yeah, right? It's like history is written by the victors, am I right? It always is, isn't it? Makes you think, huh? Here's a crazy fact. The blast from the Fat Man bomb vaporized the steel framework of the Mitsubishi plant in Nagasaki. The shockwave was that powerful. Just utterly mind-blowing. Seriously. We need to learn from this, people. Alright, so photography, right? It's like capturing a tiny, perfect slice of life. The hope, the anguish, the wonder, the pure, unadulterated joy. This is Alfred Eisenstadt, one of the first photographers for Life magazine. Seriously, a legend. He had this mission, find that storytelling moment, the one that encapsulates an era. And boom, UV2 ends on August 14th, 1945. Eisenstadt's in Times Square, New York City, feeling the vibe, the energy, the sheer relief hanging in the air. And then, bam, he sees this sailor, grabs this nurse, and whoosh, a kiss! Now hold up. This iconic image, this picture of pure unbridled joy, is the most reproduced photo of the 20th century. It's etched into our collective memory of that transformative moment. People will remember this when they're in heaven, according to Eisenstadt himself. Talk about a legacy. But here's the juicy part, and this is where things get a little tricky. Some people nowadays argue this was a case of sexual assault. Whoa, it's a really complex issue. It forces us to think about the blurry lines between celebrating joy and acknowledging potential harm. There are definitely different perspectives on this, and that's something we should always be conscious of. Crazy fact. Did you know that the iconic kiss is not the only image Eisenstadt captured that day? He took a whole series of photos documenting the day's celebrations. It's not just one moment, it's a story. Think about that. He wasn't just capturing a single kiss, he was capturing a whole movement. So, what do you guys think? Was it a celebration or something else? Let me know in the comments. Hit that like button if you love this historical deep dive, and subscribe for more mind-blowing historical moments. Let's talk. Guys, you have to see this. The Hubble Space Telescope. Almost didn't happen. Launched in 1990, this behemoth was way over budget, way behind schedule, and get this, it was nearsighted. A manufacturing flaw in its 8-foot mirror? Seriously, picture this. This magnificent machine, riding shotgun on the space shuttle Atlantis, was basically squinting at the universe. It needed a serious eye exam, a whole repair mission in 1993, before it could even see straight. And then finally, April 1st, 1995, the day Hubble delivered the goods, points excitedly at the image. Behold, the pillars of creation. This isn't just some blurry space shot, folks. This is the Eagle Nebula, a star-making factory 6,500 light-years away in the Serpens-Cauda constellation. Imagine these towering cosmic smokestacks, giant clouds of interstellar dust sculpted by the intense winds from nearby stars. And that black area in the top right, that's not a cosmic void, it's just Hubble's awesome zoom. But here's the really mind-blowing part. These pillars are 5 light-years long. That's like 30 trillion miles. Seriously, guys, that's like a mind-boggling scale. The sheer awesomeness, the sheer size, it's humbling, right? It's like, whoa! One picture did what 1,000 science conferences couldn't. It sparked wonder. It made us feel tiny and insignificant in the vastness of the universe. Bonus fact: did you know that Hubble's observations have helped us understand the expansion rate of the universe more accurately? Crazy, right? It's not just about pretty pictures. It's about pushing the boundaries of our knowledge. This is why we need more funding for space exploration. We need more Hubble-like telescopes. Guys, you have to see this. Buzz Aldrin's iconic moon photo. So this isn't some epic, action-packed shot of Buzz leaping off the lunar module. Nope, it's a seemingly mundane photo of him just standing there. Somewhere in the Sea of Tranquility, this little crater, this tiny divot in the moon's surface, is still there, a testament to the sheer age of the lunar landscape. Billion of craters, this one's just one of many. But this pic, it's crazy. Buzz wasn't exactly thrilled to be second, right? Neil Armstrong, first man on the moon. Buzz was so close to that title, a mere minutes, a few steps. Talk about a tiny margin, right? Here's the real kicker. Armstrong had the Hasselblad camera. Armstrong took all the pictures. So Earthlings, we only see Buzz's iconic image, the one that's etched into history, the one that tells the story of that moment. It's like the universe just decided it was going to be this way. Seriously, crazy. This picture isn't some dramatic, heroic pose. It's Buzz, just standing there. A little guy on a massive alien landscape. He looks so fragile, so small, like he could just poof, vanish. You know that thing about not wanting to leave too many traces on the moon? Yeah, Buzz was probably really aware of that. Imagine being aware that you're just so vulnerable in that environment. And his arm is bent, weirdly. He's probably checking his checklist, right? And then Armstrong is reflected in his visor. It's like a tiny ghostly figure in the background. This picture, done almost wrong in the context of heroism, does everything right. It's just so emotional. It's a powerful image of insignificance. The interesting fact: did you know that the moon's surface is constantly being bombarded by tiny microscopic meteorites? These tiny impacts are constantly reshaping the lunar landscape. Imagine that. That crater, that tiny depression, is constantly being modified, just like the whole moon. Crazy, right? You guys, you have to see this. Okay, so this picture points dramatically at the image. It's a stark reminder of something seriously messed up. Few people know about Biafra, this tiny little nation in West Africa that broke away from Nigeria in 1967. And guess what? It was retaken less than 3 years later. Crazy, right? This whole thing was a brutal struggle, a horrific conflict. Imagine mass starvation and disease wiping out possibly millions of people. It was devastating. And the images that came out of this, they were absolutely heart-wrenching. But there was one photo that really truly exploded onto the scene. It was taken by British war photographer Don McCullen. He captured a 9-year-old albino child literally starving to death. This isn't just a kid starving, folks. McCullen himself said this child was facing a level of suffering that was almost beyond words. This little kid wasn't just hungry, he was ostracized, ridiculed, treated like a pariah by his own peers, dying and still being treated like garbage. Unreal. This photo, this image of pure, unadulterated suffering, it hit home. It forced the world to see the reality of what was happening. Governments were pressured to act, and there were massive airlifts of food, medicine, and even weapons to help the people of Biafra. McCullen wanted to break the hearts and spirits of secure people, and he did. He wanted to make sure the world wasn't immune to the suffering. And guess what? This wasn't just about getting food and medicine. McCullen's work, along with the work of other witnesses, inspired the creation of Doctors Without Borders. They're a lifeline for people suffering in war zones, during epidemics, and in disaster areas. They're the real MVPs. Guys, you have to see this. Whoa, check out this epic photo. Zeppelins, these majestic, luxurious airships, were the ultimate symbol of power and wealth. They were like floating palaces soaring through the sky. Imagine that. And this one, the Hindenburg, was huge, 804 feet long. So Sam Scher, this guy from International News Photos, was out in the pouring rain at Lakehurst Naval Air Station in New Jersey on May 6, 1937, waiting for the Hindenburg to arrive from Frankfurt. It was a big deal. Then, bam! Out of nowhere, the Hindenburg's flammable hydrogen ignited. A huge explosion. Bright yellow flames, people were falling from the sky. 36 people died. It was absolute chaos. Scher, along with a bunch of other photographers, were right there documenting this horrific tragedy. His picture, with its raw power and, well, let's just say it's not pretty, became iconic. It was on front pages worldwide, in Life magazine, and even, get this, on the cover of the first Led Zeppelin album. Crazy, right? This disaster basically ended the age of Zeppelins. It was a huge wake-up call about the dangers of human error. Scher's photo is a powerful reminder of how quickly things can go horribly wrong. And let's not forget Herbert Morrison, the Chicago radio announcer. His voice, filled with anguish, was just heart-wrenching. He was describing the whole thing live, screaming about the humanity lost. Dude was not happy. It is bursting into flames. This is terrible. This is one of the worst catastrophes in the world. Oh, the humanity! Did you know? The Hindenburg disaster wasn't the only disaster of that era. Other similar Zeppelins had issues too. The design and use of hydrogen, a very flammable gas, was a huge factor in the demise of these magnificent ships. So while they were impressive, there were significant safety concerns they didn't fully address. Seriously, this whole thing is just mind-blowing. The sheer scale of the tragedy, the raw emotion, and the lasting impact on history. Insane! Leave a comment below and let me know what you think. Guys, check this out. This tiny speck of an island, Iwo Jima, 760 miles south of Tokyo, a volcanic nightmare. It was a crucial strategic point, blocking the Allies' path to Japan. The Americans needed it as an airbase, but the Japanese were absolutely dug in. Imagine the sheer determination. February 19, 1945, the invasion. A month of brutal fighting. Think about it, 6,800 American lives lost and 21,000 Japanese. That's a massive human cost for a little island. Now fast forward to the 5th day. The Marines storm Mount Suribachi. They raise a flag, but it's not big enough. Apparently the commander wanted to really make an impact, inspire his men, and crush the enemy's spirits. So they get a bigger flag, and here's where it gets even more epic. This Associated Press photographer Joe Rosenthal lugged his massive speed graphic camera up there. He was aiming for the perfect shot, you know, the wind whipping the flag, the turbulence of war visible in the shattered landscape, and he almost missed it. He almost missed the shot of a lifetime. The sky was overcast, Rosenthal wrote later. The wind just whipped the flag out over the heads of the group, and at their feet, the disrupted terrain and the broken stalks of the shrubbery exemplified the turbulence of war. That's a powerful description, right? 2 days later, the world saw it. The photo exploded across the US. It was an instant symbol of unity, a beacon of hope in the midst of war. People were inspired. It was massive. And the impact didn't stop there. This photo earned Rosenthal a Pulitzer Prize. It became a postage stamp, a 100-ton bronze memorial. Seriously? The power of a single image. Interesting fact, did you know that the original flag-raising photo wasn't the only one taken that day? Rosenthal actually took several shots, capturing different angles and moments. It was his best shot that became the iconic image, but there were others that also deserved a place in history. That's dedication. What's your take on this? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more epic historical stories.